your CIGTV News Update. I'm Donna Bush. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news on the signing of a memorandum between Minister of State for the Overseas Territories, Lord Ahmad of Wimbledon, and the Honourable Premier, Mr. Alden McLaughlin. The Memorandum of Understanding was signed today in London and paves the way for the purchase and operation of a new helicopter by the RCIPS's Air Operations Unit. The new helicopter, which will be used alongside the unit's existing aircraft, will boost Cayman's capability in the areas of search and rescue, law enforcement, and border protection operations. The aircraft will also be used to respond to disasters and other emergency situations in the other UK, Caribbean overseas territories. It's hoped that the helicopter can be brought into operational use in mid to late 2019. The deal signed in London will see the UK contribute 25% of the purchase price and running costs of the new helicopter from the Conflict Stability and Security Fund, with the Cayman Islands providing the balance. The overall cost of the new aircraft is just over $11 million, which also includes equipment and a training package. His Excellency Governor Martin Roper thanked the RCIPS, the Governor's Office, the Premier, and the Ministry of Human Resources, Immigration and Community Affairs for the great collaboration, he says, that's taken place on this initiative. A proud moment for Cayman, he adds. Well, on Thursday, the Overseas Territories Long Service Medal presentation ceremony was held at the Governor's House. Dozens of officers from the police, prison, fire, and auxiliary services were recognized for spending more than 15 years and up to 30 years with their respective departments.
These officers are being recognized for 18, 25, and 30 years of service in 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017. It is important for me to note that the length of the service is not the only requirement to be met by the officers when being considered for this prestigious award. Each officer here this afternoon has also shown exemplary conduct during their tenure with their respective agencies and has been found to be of good character.
The event started with the inspection of the Guard. Acting Governor, His Excellency Franz Manderson, handed out recipients. They were handed out their presentations by the Acting Governor, and Chief Officer from the Ministry of Human Resources and Immigration, Mr. Michael Ebanks, was the one acknowledging the recipients. We say congratulations to all who received their long service medals. Well, finally, the Cayman Islands Postal Service has launched two new programs. One is the Cayman Kind Global Boxes Initiative. The other is a Certified Post. Melissa Martinez Ebanks, Deputy Postmaster General of Operations and HR, explains.
The Cayman Kind Global product moves as parcels, so you can go by the deadlines that we put for parcels. Cayman Kind Global Express moves as the express package, so that one has probably still another week and a half to go for most of our major destinations like Great Britain and the US. We've introduced a new service called Certified Post, which is intended for people who need proof of posting but don't need any sort of tracking or proof of delivery. Mainly intended at customers who are doing development and need to comply with planning regulations and send out planning notifications. In the past, they had to register them, and registered mail is intended to be a very secure service, so there's a hand-to-hand check at every point, so it is our slowest service. And for planning notifications, that's not necessarily the service that you want, but they needed proof of posting, and that was the only service that we had that could meet that need. So we've introduced Certified Post, which provides proof of posting, meets planning requirements. We have consulted with them. They have verified that what we have will meet their requirements. And then after that, it just gets processed as ordinary mail and gets delivered into the addressee's mailbox. So nobody has to come in and collect it and sign for it, which we hope will increase the number of notifications that are actually collected, because we were seeing quite a lot of them sit uncollected. So Certified Post is a new option for those who need proof of posting and nothing else.
Mrs. Martinez Ebanks says both services are going well and they're pleased with the launch so far. And that ends today's news update. If you missed it, you can catch it on the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page as well as the CIG Television YouTube channel. I'm Donna Bush, as always, thanking you for joining me this week, wishing you a wonderful and, of course, a very safe weekend, and inviting you back here with me on Monday. Until then, bye-bye for now. know that planning permission is required for a shed? Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required?
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have onboard flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman boaters use Channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix, especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!
The Esterly Tibbetts Highway 3-lane roundabout is ready for drivers. It's time to make sure you know how to use it. First, know which exit you need to take. Pay attention to lane arrows and signs. Make sure you use your signal to change lanes or exit the roundabout. To turn left, you always approach in the left-hand lane and indicate left. To drive straight ahead, you need to be looking out for signs and road markings indicating which lane to use. Get in one of the lanes marked with a straight-through arrow. If turning right, you must use the right-hand lane and indicate accordingly. To use the roundabout safely, remember these 3 tips. Know your exit, pick your lane, and signal to make your turn.
Did you know that planning permission is required for a shed? Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required?
Join Donna Bush weekdays at 6 p.m. for the CIGTV News Update. Get the latest on what's happening in government on a daily basis. News Update first at 6 p.m.